Now, when I first hopped into the My Player Builder, I was trying to decide like what approach I was gonna go for a guard build. Know if I was gonna go 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", or even the 6'4" guard build. After experiencing the shooting ability on NBA 2K26, seeing the green windows, and noticed the difference between having like a mid-tier 80 3-point rating all the way to having a 99 3-point rating. So today I'm gonna be displaying two small guard builds for y'all boys can see. They'll be able to dribble, they can shoot, also pass the ball while being able to finish around the rim decently, but also can play defense. Now with these builds, as you see the wingspan, if you're gonna go 6'2", go with a 6'3" wingspan. If you're gonna go 6'3", go with a 6'4" wingspan if you want to get 99 3-pointer on your build. Now if you want to end up going with 97 so you can get all the badges on Hall of Fame, you're gonna go with 6'2" with a 6'4", and then you're gonna go with a 6'3" with a 6'5" wingspan. And I'm gonna end up showing you guys various ways to be able to finesse the system, no matter if you're using shooting specialists on this build, or even if you want to wait until you get 5 cap breakers to end up adding that to your shooting to get a 99 3-pointer. Now with this build being a 6'2", and just imagine with a 6'3" wingspan, even if you got 6'4" wingspan, the max 3-pointer is going to be a 97 3-pointer. With having a 97 3-pointer, you're going to get all these badges Hall of Fame. So you're not going to worry about any other shooting badges. They're going to be all Hall of Fame. So if you did want a max +1 set shot specialist or shifty shooter or things like that for a max +1 or a max +2, you could. But also in the future, if you end up getting those +5s, you can end up getting a 99 3-pointer to get all your badges legend, so you can save your specialist to end up putting on like playmaking or defense on this build, and you will see why. With this build being right now with a 94 3-pointer, you can end up possibly getting a 99 in the future with a 6'3" wingspan, but if you want to end up going 97, you'll be able to use those max +1s like I told you. But for the mid-range, we got an 84 mid-range, 94 3-pointer, and when it comes to the finishing ability, now you can go 85 to unlock most of the best layup animations in the game, or even 87, but if you want to go higher, that's up to you to go 88 so you get float game on go. But so far, you get a decent amount of layup packages with 85 layup. Now if you're someone that's going to be doing layups, this one will be cool for you. You got a decent range of doing layups and dunking the ball. Now between the range right now, I tried out with 55. Usually you guys know I go 80 or up, so I go 80 or I go 87 or I go 89 or 93 driving dunk. For this build like this, to be able to get defense and be able to shoot and get 91 speed with ball, I had to sacrifice a few things, but you can change this, as I'm going to show you a revamped version of this 6'2" build / 6'3" build. And if you do want to make this build 6'1", you can, but it feel like a too small of build, but you do get a little bit more cap breakers than being on a 6'2" and 6'3", but it's just a smaller build. Now with the pass accuracy, you're going to notice that I'm going to have an 82 pass accuracy. Nothing too crazy, but it's going to get the job done, get dimer on goal, you might hit those thresholds. But also when it comes to the ball handle, you got a 92 ball handle to unlock all the dribble moves in the game other than Steve Francis if it's there. But if so, you still can put +3 cap breakers so you can get a 95 ball handle to get those badges on Hall of Fame. Now with having a 91 speed with ball, you get lightning launches on legend. Now 86 speed with ball and 91 speed with ball is just like NBA 2K25. It makes a big difference. If you're on a build, a small build with an 86 speed with ball, it is not the same as having a 91 speed with ball, unless you're going to put lightning launches max +1 if you got that gold lightning launches. But the thing with speed with ball this year, it is very costly because your speed with ball and your speed is tied together. So with me having a 91 speed with ball, I will end up having a 91 speed as well, which is going to lead me to get slippery off ball on go. Now with me having an 80 agility, you would think that get the job done, but really the threshold that you want to hit is around 87 speed, 83 agility to unlock De'Aaron Fox motion style. But if you want to be able to unlock every motion style in NBA 2K25 for a small guard, you need an 87 speed and you need an 85 agility. That's with De'Aaron Fox, John Morant, and some other ones, especially like Jalen Suggs, so you'll be able to play defense because you need like an 84 agility just to unlock Jalen Suggs. But when it comes to the defense for this build, you're gonna notice I made sure to give this build an 85 still so we can get that interceptor on go. As I told y'all about lanes in NBA 2K26, lanes are actually nice. Even if you got a small build with small arms, you're gonna be able to jump a lane. We seen a lot of builds get lanes, even we didn't supposed to get a lane with a 73 steal. Now when it comes to the perimeter, I did go higher on the perimeter than other people. Some people might end up going 74 perimeter. Some people might end up messing around with like in between a 60 something. But the threshold on most of my guards I want to end up doing is around 82 to 83. The reason why I'm saying 82 to 83 is 82 gets you challenger on silver. 83 is going to give you pick dodger on silver. And you never know where you're going to end up getting hit with a screen or even going on off ball, even if you're playing 3s or even 5s. But you can also use this anywhere that you really want with the pass ability, shooting ability, and the defensive ability. And if you feel like you want more defense on the small guard to get that 85 perimeter, the best thing I can tell you is drop your pass accuracy to like a 75 or 76 pass accuracy, so you can end up getting that to an 85 and even upgrading your dunk if you want to higher. Now as you see these badges I'm about to show you, Well, as I said, you can specialize in shooting if you want to, but if you do, I do recommend you go 95 3-pointers so you can use those +2 cap breakers to get 97, so you can end up having all your badges on Hall of Fame. Now with the max +1s and max +2s, you can do a lot of damage, but preferably I would say you should do playmaking or defense on this build to finesse the system. As of getting this build, you're gonna end up having a 92 ball handle. You can end up getting the max +1s and things like that, so you can end up having like the lightning launches on Hall of Fame to legend, and then you can end up having like dimer on Hall of Fame or even legend. Now that's a crazy combination, especially with a build that only has an 82 pass accuracy, you will see. But even if you did want to use specialization on shooting, it can be real crazy as well, because like I told you before, all your badges will be Hall of Fame, but as of gold right now, you're gonna end up having that max +1 on Deadeye, Shifty Shooter, Set Shot Specialist, or Mini Marksman, and that's gonna put everything on Hall of Fame. But one of the most valuable badges that you will end up using will be the Shifty Shooter and Set Shot Specialist, which you will end up having those badges as your max +2, so you can get one of those on Legend. Now you still can use any other max +2 other than that in the regular category that's not your specialist to get the other badges that you want, to be able to finesse 2 to 3 legend badges even in the shooting category. And if you're trying to figure out some max +2s that or max +1s you want to use as a tier 2, you got a lot of good options. You can use layup mixer, like I said, you can use dimer, or you can even use this slivery off ball to be able to finesse off of it, or even float game. Float game is a slept over one, especially if you're going to end up doing those layups like I told y'all. But with the build setup how it is, you can end up tweaking a few things to make the build better. Now I know people not going to have their interior defense this high on a small guard, or even that block this high. Even if you do 40 and 40 or even lowest at 50, you can end up finessing more attributes. Now as you finessing more attributes, you're going to get a whole different type of revamp of this build, and it's going to be insane because you're going to end up getting higher passes, higher ball control, you're going to get a higher dunk. That's all based on what you're going to end up looking for your build. Now I know a lot of y'all guys are not going to end up putting your strength up on your build, but I know you're going to raise your vertical, and that's going to be very important for a build that's going to need dunk. But for the build, they're going to call you a thieving inside-out creator, as you're going to be matched up with Mike Conley and Derek Harper. Now with this, lightning launches on Hall of Fame, Mini Marksman on gold, limitless range on gold, and only weakness that we have on this build is our dunking threat. And the thing about it, there's some decent actual dunk packages that you can get at 55 or even 65. But look, if you get your dunk to at least a 75 to get that Devin Booker dunk package, this will go away. It will say no dunk weakness. It will literally say your build will have no weaknesses on a 6'2 build or 6'3. And even if you want to make a 6'1. But now that I just showed you that build, now I'm about to show you a revamped version of this build. Now look, imagine this build 6'2 with a 6'3 wingspan like I told you, or if you made it a 6'3 with a 6'4 wingspan. Now the things you're going to be aiming for, I would change. You will have a 92 or 95 ball handle. That's key. That's the main part that you want on a small guard. Now when it comes to the interior defense, this can go lower. It don't have to be a 50 interior. You can make this a 40-45 interior, or even a 40-30 block if you want to say attributes to go somewhere else. Now with doing that, so you still have a 94 3-pointer, which you would end up being able to get a 99 3 with +5 cap breakers. And even if you do specialize in shooting, you still can use those +2 cap breakers to get a 96 3-pointer, so you can get limitless range on Hall of Fame while having Shifty Shooter on Hall of Fame as well. Now when it comes to the drop and dunk of this build, now this is a few things that will be changed. Now if you want to get a higher dunk other than just a 75 to get Devin Booker dunk package, and you want at least a 60 vertical, you're going to have to sacrifice a few things. Like I said, you're going to have to drop your interior D, you're going to have to drop your block, you might have to drop your pass accuracy slightly to like a 78 or even an 80 if you want to end up doing that, if you're going to use your max +1s on dimer to get that up to gold again. But then you're going to be able to get at least around like an 84, 85 drop and dunk, or even 87 based on if you want to lower your layup. Now that's one thing a lot of people might not end up wanting to do if they want layup this year. If you want to lower your layup, then you can get that 85 or even 87 drop and dunk. But if you're not going to lower your layup, you're not going to be able to get both, especially with having defense on your small build. Now if you want a high pass accuracy of going higher than what it is, try to get 85 pass accuracy or 82, hey, just know you might have to lower your actual steal or lower your perimeter. That's going to be one of the main things. If you want to be able to get that 85 pass accuracy, you might have to lower your perimeter to like a 80 or even 74 just to be able to end up getting those thresholds that you want. Now, if I had to pick between the heights I would choose, as I would tell you, a 6'1 gets the more attributes than a 6'2 and a 6'3. 6'2, it's an in-between mark. It feels like it's not too short, but it can get the job done. I would say try a 6'3 with a 6'4 wingspan. it's more taller, and it's going to be a lot more bigger builds, and mini marksman is still going to be able to activate consistently compared to being on a smaller build, and it's going to be hard to get stops on D. And if you do go to 6'4" route, just know you will have to go 86 speed with ball, because that's going to take a lot, especially with 6'4" not getting that many attributes compared to the 6'1" through 6'3". But with all the information I gave y'all boys to end up trying to make the best guard build in NBA 2K26, hey man, all I ask y'all boys to do is drop a like, subscribe, turn notifications, and let me know how y'all feel in the comment section. Hey man, check out the video on the screen, and I'm gonna see y'all boys in the next one.